Hey, we're live.
Ryan and Steve.
Ryan and Steve, Alpha Centurion, podcast vlog. Stardate. Episode
River
1.
Arve.
River Arve. We're
Arve.
out and about. We wanted to share more about cold exposure,
This is
benefits of.
by the river, because that makes you think of cold water.
Yeah, and this river as well comes from the Alps, so it's much colder. But the benefits of cold exposure, talking about upside down, benefits of hanging, being upside down as well. Body, mind, spirit.
Yeah.
That's what we're all about. Alpha Centurion.
How cold is this river? Because the lake now is about 8 degrees. Where I go in Champs-Élysées.
Well, seeing as I don't have a thermometer on me, I'm not sure the temperature.
But you've been in this water.
Yeah. It's not super cold. It's been colder.
Has it?
Yeah.
But this is colder than the Rhone, maybe, you reckon?
Could be. Yeah.
Anyway, the point is...
What is the point, Steve?
The point is that cold water...
Why do you love cold water and going in cold water?
Why do I like it? It feels great afterwards, for one thing.
Continue. I'll be behind. You talk.
And you have to get used to it. And other people think you're daft, crazy. But that's an additional plus. And what I do, other people do it differently. I mean, like when you do it, you sort of go running into it. Where are you? And dive, whereas I sort of slip into it. I edge into it gingerly. And then
what would you say to someone just starting out that wants to get into it?
I would say go carefully, slowly. Like, just paddle first of all. Or, what you can also do, which is less fun in my opinion, is to take a cold shower at home, where you can just sort of step in and out. But that's not the same sensation. What I like now is to go right in, and when it's on a day like this, when it's sun shining, and just to sit and not move.
So how do you feel after?
For like 30 seconds at a time. That's about enough when it's this cold. It can get colder, I think, but this is as cold as I've done it this year, this winter. And so 30 seconds, come out, and when the sun's shining like this, you can get warm in the sun. The sun is warm on your skin. And then go in again. And sometimes I've done it once or twice, I think that's enough. And then I come out and I think, no, I'll do it again. So when it gets a bit longer, I'm trying to break it a bit longer each time. And at the end of that, you told me this, you need to move to get your blood pumping again, which I think is right. So you need to jump up and down, a few burpees and push-ups and things like that, anything to get the blood moving. And then get dressed. And I find, should we go down here?
Yep.
I find that even when I get home, a short drive home, and I'm still a bit cold in the fingertips and the toes.
Yeah.
So a hot bath at that point is nice, and also probably a hot drink, like second coffee break at that point. And then you feel nice, and then I would eat after it, because I'm usually fasting when I do this, although I might have an egg earlier, just have something in the stomach if it's a really cold day. And then, after eating, I lie down and put on a YouTube video of something, and then suddenly that wave of sleep comes over you, all these endorphins kicking in. And that feels so nice.
So good, so nice.
There's the river. Hold it.
I'll hold it now. Cold exposure there's so many different ways of literally stepping into it. Just being outside in nature, especially when it's inclement weather. Like being out in the sun, even when it's cold, is easy. When it's out in the rain is another way of getting your cold exposure. If it's snowing, if it's just colder temperature overall. Feet in the water. Feet bare on the ground as well. So there's all these steps before you even get in the water sometimes that you can implement, that you will benefit from in so many ways. Mentally as well. Like Steve's comforting himself after with like the warm bath and the food, and then you rest deeply as well. And that's the beauty of it, is you have a great contrast of like, once you've been in the cold and have stepped into it, mentally you can take more stress, right? Like cold, your old cold is less cold. You become more adapted to it.
That is true.
And that's the beauty of it. So step into it. If you want to know more, reach out. Wim Hof stuff is great, like the movement, the breathing after.
But think also about the benefits it brings you for your health, for
The immune system.
immune system, which is a popular subject in the last couple of years. I don't know why. And
Cardiovascular, especially.
yes, it stimulates your blood vessels to contract and therefore to expand again and therefore to exercise themselves.
Pump.
It lowers blood sugar,
Ho.
so it's good for anyone with pre-diabetes or diabetes. It burns.
Once
fat.
again, we're not, this isn't medical advice. We're just saying from our experiences what we've